In this tutorial, we're going to take a look at the use of formulas to do some simple calculations of data here. Before we go any farther, though, let's take a moment. We should always title our work here as we're working on it and give it a name. So let's go ahead and rename this here real quick. Instead of untitled spreadsheet, let's just go S and then your semester. In this case, we're in semester 1. And your hour. I'm just going to put a blank in there for that part. And then your last name. I always put a while in, but you're going to put your last name. And then data is the name of this spreadsheet that we want to call here. So again, S and then your semester and hour, your last name, data. Okay? Go ahead and title it that way. Now, what we're going to do with a formula, guys, what is great about a spreadsheet is you can take large amounts of data and easily do some simple mathematical calculations with the data. So let's say you had a whole column of statistics or multiple columns of statistics of different pieces of data. Let's say batting averages in baseball or money, some sort of keeping track of money for a business. Whatever the case may be, you can do some really simple and quick formulas or do some calculations using formulas in a spreadsheet. So the two that we're going to do, and I'm going to go ahead and write them down here, and you can write them with me or do it at the end, okay, is total amount of M&Ms, okay, and then average amount of colors. Now we'll kind of explain that one later. All right, so we can do it like that, and I kind of kept mine small here. We'll do some formatting later, so we're going to do just a simple addition formula here. We're going to get the total amount of MMs, and we're going to get the average amount of each color here. Okay, and that's the kind of data we're going to generate. Now, to show you where what you need as far as the different types of formulas you can use. Now they call them functions in here, okay? And formulas, functions, they're kind of synonyms when it comes to using a spreadsheet. But you notice we can do a sum and an average, what we're going to use today. You can also use count, min, and max, and kind of what you're looking at there is the highest score and the lowest score. Or the highest amount or lowest amount when you're dealing with data. The count tells you how many actual entries there are. So if we were to do a count on this, you would come up with 6 because we have 6 different pieces of data from the 6 different colors, so on and so forth. And there's actually more functions you can do too. Now, I could teach a whole class just on using spreadsheets and functions and things like that, so we're not going to get too far into it. But again, the one we use the most are these two. So what we want to do here before we get started is we want to go to the cell where we want to put the information in. So for the total amount, we're going to go ahead and click on, in this case, B5, because that's where we want the information to go. And then we're going to go up here to functions. We're going to click on sum. Now watch what happens to the cell when I click sum. Okay, it goes equals sum. This is kind of a programming language, if you will, but it's kind of setting it up for you. Now you have to be very careful. Don't click anything else when you do that, because what happens is, you notice it'll put some cell monikers in here, okay? Now if I were to do that, if I were to highlight these cells, notice it says C4 through E7 or colon E7. So what that means is they would take and add up all the information in cells C4 through E7, okay? But if I do that, okay, nothing comes up, right? Okay, so we don't want that. So I'm going to go up and hit the delete button and clear that out. So we have to be very careful. When you're ready to start using a sum, you click here, you go to sum. Now don't click anything else until you're ready to highlight the data. So we want to highlight cells B2 through G2, like so, okay? So B2 colon G2 is what the spreadsheet program puts in there. Now you could actually go in and type equals sum parenthesis B2 colon G2 if you wanted to, if you understood the language here, okay? But using the computer is a lot faster. Then I can just go ahead and hit enter when I'm done, okay? Just hit enter. Don't click off because it'll highlight that next cell too. So once you have the cells highlighted, just hit enter, and notice it calculates now the information. I have 67 total amount of M&Ms up here. For the next box here, I want to get the average, so I'm going to go up here to that to where the functions are again and create an average formula. So there we go. Average, and again, don't click until you're ready. Now it gives you some nice information here. You can learn about how this works a little bit more. But again, I'm going to highlight the cells that I want to do, okay, like so, and then hit enter. All right, and then it gives me an average. Now we can reformat this a little bit if we want to in some different areas, but we'll just leave it like that for right now. So the average amount of each color is 11.16, so on. Okay, so right around 11 would be the average. Okay. So you can see that we have more of the average in red and we have less than the average in orange, so on and so forth. So that's how you use formulas, guys. So go ahead and calculate the total amount of M&Ms and the average amounts of colors for each of those here, and try out using the formulas. And again, be very careful. Once you put the function in there, don't click on anything else until you're ready to highlight the data. And then once you've highlighted the data, hit the enter button or the return button on your keyboard, and that'll calculate the information for you.